Hi, and thanks for choosing Planet Rentals for your next outdoor adventure. First off, we're going to go over some general trailer information that is pertinent to all of our different camping trailers, and then we'll go specifically over the camping trailer that you have reserved. First of all, when you come for your reservation, make sure you plan enough time to get paperwork filled out and the trailer hooked up. When appointments are rushed, we always find that then, some information is skipped over, or, we're not as thorough as we'd like to be. So make sure you plan plenty of time for your pickup appointment. Secondly, make sure that you have your driver's license and the insurance card for the vehicle that will be towing our trailer available and ready for us. We'll need copies of those along with the contract that you sign. Now, it's important that you know what type of site you're going to with the trailer. Many sites have water, power, and sewer hookups, and many sites have none of that at all. And how the trailer works and operates is quite dependent on that. And so you'll want to know those differences before you head out there. And then I wanted to go over some general driving tips for you. When you're towing a trailer, it's always very important to drive at a very slow and safe speed. It's just not worth pushing. Plan some extra time in your trip so that you have plenty of time to get where you're going. It's easier on our trailer and easier on your tow vehicle if you just take it easy. Secondly, because you'll be a longer rig, you need to make sure that you're careful when you're cornering. You need to take corners a little bit wider and plan for that sort of thing. It's always smart to know exactly where you're going, have good directions, or have driven there before, because it's hard to make evasive maneuvers or U-turns and that sort of thing when you have a trailer in tow. And then whenever you're backing up the trailer, make sure that you have someone there helping you back up to help you make sure you don't, of course, run into any obstacles and that sort of thing. And then when you're setting up the trailer, you want to make sure that you're being careful of anything that's overhead on the trailer or around the sides of it. Many of our trailers have slide outs or pop downs and that sort of thing that extend from the side of the trailer. So before you get it all set up, you want to make sure there's plenty of clearance all around the trailer. And then also, we want you to really treat our trailers well. We have what we feel the best trailers and the best pricing out there of any RV dealer. And a big part of that is because we really feel like we have the best renters. So we do put some responsibility on you to make sure you take care of our units. We suggest taking your shoes off when you go inside the trailer. That really just helps with cleanup. It helps maintain the floor and the furniture, all that sort of thing. We suggest that you try not to take the trailer off-road. We suggest that you keep it nice and swept and clean. And then, help with eliminating horseplay and other rough activities that may happen in or outside the trailer, just to help, keep it nicer and cleaner for those that come after you. And then also wanted to note that all of our trailers have a spare tire on them, of course, but that spare tire is not intended for long distance driving. That spare tire is intended to get you somewhere to get a tire repaired and replaced so that you can continue on with your trip. So please don't plan on using the spare tire to drive any extended distance if something were to happen to one of the original tires on the trailer. We of course keep all those tires in great working condition for you. Now we'll go over the general hookup of the trailer to the tow vehicle here. So the first thing we're going to do is lower the trailer down onto the ball of the vehicle. And then every trailer comes with a safety pin. This is what's going to ensure that the trailer is locked on to the truck securely. If the pin goes through, you've got it set up correctly and it can't come undone from the ball of the vehicle. Next we have the safety chains, and they have hooks that clip onto the security hole on the vehicle. I like to cross the chains once or twice, with one going this way and the other one going this direction. Next is the hookup for the lights on the trailer. All of our trailers have this 7-pin RV connection, and so you need to make sure your vehicle can accommodate that type of plug. And then lastly is the breakaway cable for the trailer. What this does is if the trailer were to come unhooked from the vehicle somehow, this cable will pull and activate the brakes on the trailer so that it doesn't keep rolling away. Alright, and then if you're using one of our equalizer hitches, you'll want to lower the trailer down onto the ball of the tow vehicle, just enough to get that pin locked in, and then you want to swing the arms up onto the side of the trailer and lock those in. Then lower the rest of the trailer weight down onto the tow vehicle. What that does is help transfer some of the weight of the trailer up to the front tires of the tow vehicle for cornering and braking, and it also helps with sway control as you're driving down the road. Now be mindful of the things that you put inside the trailer. If you're using one of our equalizer hitches, make sure that does not go inside the trailer on the linoleum. We've had quite a few trailers damaged that way, as well as generators and other rough equipment like bikes and things like that. Please be careful with the flooring of our trailers. All right, once you arrive at your campsite, the first thing you're going to need to do is level the trailer. So with the level that's provided with the trailer, you'll want to check for side-to-side levelness using the back bumper of the trailer. So you just put that on there, and then depending on which side is high or low, you'll raise that side up using the tires of the trailer and the blocks that we provide. With these blocks, you'll tuck them up underneath the trailer tire and back up onto them. If you needed to go even higher, you can build a little ramp using these blocks. Go even too high here. Once you back up onto the blocks, then you check your levelness again and make sure you're nice and level. And then once your vehicle's level side to side, you want to chalk the tires using the included chocks. Just one on each side of the tire. Tuck them in nice and firm, and then the same on the other side of the trailer on one of the tires. Okay, now that you're level side to side and the tires are chalked on the trailer really well, it's now time to unhook it from your tow vehicle and check levelness front to back. To check that levelness, you can just place the level here on the front A-frame of the trailer, and then you're going to use the tongue jack, raised or lowered, in order to level the trailer front to back. Now you can drop the stabilizers that are on the trailer. There's a provided crank that you connect here. You just attach it to the end. And just crank those stabilizers down until they're on the ground. Once they touch the ground, I usually do another 2 cranks to support a little bit of the weight of the trailer, but you don't support much of the weight. In fact, these stabilizers are not used to level the trailer whatsoever. They're just used to help eliminate some of the rocking motion of the trailer when you're walking around inside. Now when your trip's over and it's time to hook up and leave, you're going to do all of those steps we went over just in reverse. So first you're going to raise those stabilizer jacks that we lowered. Then you're going to hook up to the vehicle and of course raise the tongue jack all the way. Then remove the chocks that are on the tires on both sides of the trailer. Then pull the trailer off of any leveling blocks side to side, and you're good to go. All right, we're now going to go over the setup of our Flagstaff 228 trailer. This is a great tent trailer and a lot of fun. There's a propane tank up here on front, and the first thing you'll want to do when you get to your site is get that opened up to power the different appliances in the trailer. And then also here on the front is the battery. There's nothing specific you need to do with the battery up here. It'll charge if the trailer's plugged in at a hookup site or to a generator. All right, here at the front of the trailer on the driver's side, the first thing here is your water connection. Now this is only if you have full-time water at your site would you use this. Otherwise you'd want to fill the water tank, which is on the other side of the trailer. We'll show you here in a minute. But if you do have water hookups, with the hose, you will actually screw the hose right onto the side of the trailer, like so. And on the other end of the hose is our pressure regulator that we include with the trailer. You'll want to make sure that that's connected to the hose and that the pressure regulator screws onto the spigot that you're using. That just maintains the right amount of pressure for the trailer and makes sure that there's not, too much pressure to blow the lines out of the trailer or your hose. Now right next here to the water hookup is the drain for the sink. This, when you get to your site, you just open it up and leave it open for the duration of your trip. Any water that you use from your sink will go right out on the ground, and that's normal for all tent trailers. Then down here, a little bit lower, is your power connection. So this is where you're going to connect the power cord for the trailer if you have power hookups or you want to be using a generator. This guy plugs in here. And on the other end, you've got an adapter that will adapt down this 30 amp plug configuration to a regular extension cord or a regular type of outlet. But many hookup sites have this 30 amp connection at your campsite, and generators also have both the 30 amp and this adapted kind. This trailer also features an outdoor shower that you can open up with your key here. Then you just have kind of like a regular faucet and sprayer, which is great for spraying off some muddy kids or shoes or whatnot. Then down here, is the access panel to ignite your fridge. So to open that, you use a key or a coin to turn these black knobs, and it pulls straight off. Now there's 3 ways to run this fridge. You can run it on propane, which is this here. You can run it on plug-in power, which would be this, but only if you had full-time power at your site, or you could run it on battery power. Now we suggest you never run the fridge on battery power because it will drain your battery very, very quickly, and then you'll be without battery power for lights and other appliances in your trailer. Now to ignite it using propane, you would push down this knob, go over to high, press and hold, and then spark with the igniter back here in the back 4 or 5 times quite rapidly. Hold the button down for another 5 to 10 seconds and then let up. In order to ignite it off of electricity, of course just a flip of the switch, and battery would be the same. Again, please do not use the battery connection. And then another important thing is to not have more than one method turned on at a time. Now up here is your temperature dial, so you can turn up or down the temperature of the fridge. And then lastly, over here in this corner is a little viewer window. This viewer window is what allows you to see if the pilot light is lit for the fridge. That's only if you're running it off propane. Once it's ignited, you could peek down in that window and make sure that the pilot light's on. All right, this is the service panel for your hot water heater, but that starts and stops from inside the trailer, so you shouldn't need to access that panel. And then here on the other side of me is the vent for the heater. Now this does get hot, so I just wanted to point it out to make sure that you're mindful of objects that are around this and make sure that it's not accidentally bumped by an individual. All right, here on the passenger side of the trailer, this is where you would fill the water tank. Now again, this would be if you do not have water hookups, you would want to fill your water tank so that you can use the toilet, shower, and sink. So you just put a hose right here, fill it until it starts to gurgle back out at you, at which point you know it's full. Then here below the door is a step. To pull it out, just kind of lift a little, and pull straight towards. But most importantly, when you store it for travel, make sure it sits back down completely flat. Then this nice door handle here, it's nice because it can go this way to kind of make sure the door is shut while you're traveling. It can flip this way to help with entry and exit, or flip this way to be out of the way. All right, now we're ready to set up the tent trailer and raise the roof. Most importantly about the tent trailers is double and triple checking to make sure that these buckles are undone. To do that, you just drop it down and make sure it's unbuckled from the roof. And once you've made sure all 4 buckles are released from the trailer, now it's time to flip the switch to raise the roof up. Now as it's going and raising up, you'll see a green cord on this passenger side corner, and that green cord will tighten as the roof goes up, and that's just kind of your guide to watch. And then you stop once you see that cord tighten. Now there's 2 poles for the front bed and 2 support poles for the back bed that need to be pulled out in position before you pull the beds out. And they're just right here under the front mattress, and we'll go place those on the front. All right, located at the front of the trailer is this little bracket with 3 different slits. These support poles for the bed, you'll want to place this in the bottom slit to start, and then up here at the top, there's a little notch for the top part of the bracket to sit in. With both poles in place, now you're ready to pull the bed out, and you just grab the black loop and pull straight out. And now you'll just pull the corners of the fabric, or the outer layer here, over the corners of the bed. And the rest of the setup of the bed is inside the trailer. All right, with both beds out, now you're ready to pull the glide out, and that's done by lifting the black lever and turning it a half turn on both sides. Then grab the handle and pull straight out. Again, wrap the corner edges of the fabric, and you're all set. Now this short little door is just for travel. It actually comes right off its hinges once it's open, and then it stores underneath the back bed. There's a set of hinges under there that you can just slide it into, and it stores right up underneath. Now to lift the sink into place and to activate the lights in the trailer, Just grab with the handle right here, lift the sink straight up, and it goes right into place. Now to put the full door into place, you're first going to undo these snaps here located on the roof. And then there's a wing nut here on the bottom that you loosen and drop the door down. Now it slides on a track on the top. At the top of the door, you want to make sure that these wing nuts rotate over the top of the door frame. Now you want to Velcro down along the sides of the door on both sides. It wraps around here. And then finally at the bottom, there's some wing nuts here. You can see the frame of the door goes outside the frame of the trailer, and then it wing nuts onto the frame of the trailer here, all the way around. Now to complete the setup of the bed, underneath the mattress is a white bar that you're going to use to connect to a bar that's now sitting here on top of the mattress. So you just kind of stick the pole on this round part of the bracket, push it outwards, and connect it to the ceiling. Now lastly, underneath the mattress are two support poles for the edges of the tent trailer. There's two of them that you'll set up kitty corner outside the trailer. Now to put the support bracket in place, there's a pointy end here that you're going to slide right onto the bracket of the trailer. Push it up and then knock the bottom side in. Now there's two support bars and 4 of these brackets on the trailer. So the other one's going to go kitty corner on the opposite side of the trailer on the back, or you can do the opposite kitty corners, but they need to go kitty corner from each other. To set up the dinette, same principle as the front bed. I'm going to connect the pole here to the round part on the bracket. Push it up and out. Now this trailer features heated mattresses. So you'll see one end is kind of an end that would clip into the mattress, and the other would just plug into an outlet in the trailer. So you would need power hookups or a generator to run that heated mattress. It then has a dial on the side to adjust the temperature. Now as it is, the dinette is here in bed mode, so you would grab the different cushions and lay them out flat to be a bed. Or you can use it as a dinette by setting up the backrests here, sliding over the seat cushion. Then you can set up the table by pulling it out. Unvelcro the legs here. Make sure each one gets locked into place. And then the table can stand up here. Alright, now this can be a couch or a bed as well here. To make it a couch, you'd pull off the cushions, flip the backrest up, and set it up as such. To pull it down into a bed, lay that back down, undo a snap here in the corner, and it pulls out, and the cushions lay flat. Located here below the sink is the switch to turn on the water pump. So this would be used if you did not have full-time water hookups at your site and were trying to pump the water from the water tank up to your faucet. You would turn it on and it would pressurize the lines, and it turns off automatically on its own when those lines are pressurized. But we do ask that you turn the pump off when you're not using the water. And then further over here is a switch for the water heater. This runs off of propane. When you turn the switch on, the light's going to go red. Once the water heater ignites and the pilot's running, that red light will go off, but that does not mean it's stopped working. That just indicates that the pilot's lit and it is working correctly. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes for that 6 gallons of water to heat up. But the water heater should be turned off when not in use. Now the stove's located here by the sink. Lift open the cover. To light it, you would turn the knob to light, hold it down while you spark it with a lighter. Now here opposite the sink and the stove is the shower and toilet. Lift the lid up and you've got your toilet here. The toilet flushes by pressing the lever like this back and forth, which will pump some water into the bowl and open up the reservoir to flush it down. Then there's a faucet and a shower there that you may use as well. The shower curtain's located in a cupboard and will hook up to the rail up here on the roof. You can just pull it out and clip it to the clips around. Now we do require that you use our RV safe toilet paper. Nothing else should be flushed down the toilet, such as cleaning rags, paper towels, anything like that. And then we also have some included chemical. We say a packet every other day during the duration of your trip, and you can just toss that in the toilet and flush it down. Now the thermostat for the heater is located to the left of the stove. To turn it on, just click the lever over to the desired temperature level, and the heater will kick on and off as needed throughout the night. There's no pilot lights to light or anything of that nature. Now the heater does need to be turned off whenever it's not in use. That's all the way to the left, and a click will turn it off. Now located here in this cubby is the cassette for the toilet. It opens with your key, and you'll want to make sure that this is filled with fresh water in order to flush. That's done with this top part here. Just loosen the screen cap and fill it with fresh water. Be careful not to overfill it. Now, when your trip is over, you'll want to empty this canister. That's done by pulling the green handle here all the way out. And then this can rotate out to be dumped down a sewer or into even a household toilet. Now you'll notice the capacity isn't real great for this cassette, and you can watch the level as you flush the toilet, but you want to be careful not to overfill it. Now the cushions for the dinette do need to be pulled off and stored. I put the two big ones here underneath the table, and then the two smaller ones I just put on the floor by the couch. Now when you take down the trailer, this glide out portion does need to go in first. So you'll gently push it in, and make sure you don't force it at any point. If it doesn't seem to close all the way, check on the inside of the trailer, make sure there's not a cushion in the way or something else in the way. And again, these just rotate just half a turn and push downwards. Now another common mishap with this trailer is you need to make sure that this fabric gets pulled all the way back out after you've pushed the glide out in. That's because those beds are going to slide across, and you want to make sure they're not sliding into the track and getting sliced by the beds. Now before you pull the beds in, you want to just peek in the door and make sure everything's at the rail level of the beds and below. Otherwise, of course, those beds will run in. You just want to make sure you're not forcing the beds in at all. Alright, now before you crank the roof down, you want to make sure you got those two support brackets that go kitty corner from each other taken out. And then you're going to crank the roof down about 80 or 90% of the way, then go around the trailer and tuck in all the fabric, then proceed to close it the rest of the way. Now you stop cranking the roof down when you see it stop moving. There's no point to keep going if the roof isn't going down anymore. The rest of the gap here can be eliminated by pushing down on the roof manually and then doing up the buckle. And repeat that on all four corners. And now you're all set up and ready to go. Now inside the trailer will be a user manual and a cleaning checklist. We do ask that the trailer is returned as clean as when it's taken, so you can kind of go over that checklist and make sure everything's wiped down and good to go. Thanks again for choosing Planet Rentals for your next camping trip. We hope you really enjoy our trailers and that you have a great time.